Hey there, I just finished my Christmas tree topper. I made a crown, and so I thought I would just hit the record button before I actually put this on my tree so you could see what I've been up to for the past week and a half. This was a very tedious job right here, let me tell you. So, anyway, here we go. I love the way it turned out. Laura Carson, who's Artfully Musing, really inspired this one. So I'll put a link down below to her blog post. She also has a YouTube video in that you can watch. That's basically where I got my inspiration for this. And another Pinterest post that I have, it's just a picture though. So I kind of wanted to recreate that vibe, and that is what I wound up doing. I really love this. I absolutely love this. So my Christmas decorating in my living room and on my Christmas tree is pink, gold, champagne, those kind of colors. I trended away from red and green, I don't know, a couple of years ago. So, but this year I went all like crazy with it. So what I did on this, I didn't do a tutorial on this crown as I was working on it because, like I said, it was a week and a half in the making and it was very tedious. A lot of cussing went on and it was a lot of just detail work that I had to get my head like right all up in it, and there's no way I could have recorded a process video on this. But what I did is I took that metal trim right there as the base. That is from the floral section at Hobby Lobby, and I believe they still carry it. I've had this trim for, I want to say 4 years, something like that. I always had the intention of using it to make crowns. Crown making is just, for some reason, I'm just drawn to it, but so I bought that trim at that time, and what I did is I just took embossing powder and just kind of shabbied it up because it is a silver metal. So that was the first thing I did. I cut it to the circumference that I knew I wanted to use on my tree, and then I embossed it with the shabby embossing powder. Let me see if I can get close up so you can see. So you can kind of see that metal back behind that. And then to connect it, after I figured out my circumference, I used a couple of brads. You can see those gold brads right there. And what's convenient about this metal trim is that there are holes on each side. So it came in very handy, and I used brads to connect it. So once I wound it around, those brads right there are holding it together. And then after I did that, I took chicken wire, and it's just the little chicken wire roll of trim that I believe I got at Hobby Lobby. And I took that all around the top edge of this metal piece and attached it by using E6000 and hot glue. And I let that sit overnight so it could cure up really well, because you're going to work with this quite, you know, I knew I was going to work with this chicken wire quite a bit, and I was going to rough it up, and boy did I ever. So after I did that, and I'm starting with the ums again. It's a nervous tick, guys, when you're doing YouTube. There are some of us who we say all the time because we're trying to fill the space when we're not talking. So I do that a lot. So you'll probably hear like a gazillion ums in this video. But after I let that cure and came back to it the next day, what I did is I took that gold leaf trim from Hobby Lobby right there, and I have cuts all over my hand too from where I've been working on this thing, but so excuse that, it looks horrible. But anyway, so I took that gold leaf trim and I threaded that throughout the chicken wire, just all over, I mean front and back, even though you're really not going to see the back too much. I did do it all the way around, and then I just started layering pieces inside it by wire wrapping. So there's some pearl picks that you get from the his and her section. They're not picks. They're this beaded wire trim that you get at the his and her section at Hobby Lobby. So I wound up wire wrapping just a lot. I think I used one complete bundle, and I used that all over. And I wish I had done that in the back, but when I started the project, I wasn't that smart. And what I did is I cut the wire in half and stuck a regular bead through there, and then reconnected it by putting glossy accents in each of the holes. And I only did that on the back side. So the holes are actually inside the chicken wire there. Whereas up here, it's just the little pieces that are, you know, sticking out, because I kind of wanted it to just look really, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. But anyway, where it's not actually attached to the piece. So I wanted there to be some movement with that, and I love how that turned out. So after I did that, I took some more picks that I got at Michael's, like these leaves, and I threaded that through the chicken wire as well, and hot glued everything. Everything is hot glued to the base right here. So wherever you see like a solid line is where I have everything hot glued to this up here at the front. And to mask some of that, I did have to run some pink satin ribbon through this trim. And then I took some, let me get close up on here. Then I took some, just a glitter mix that I did, and I wound up just glittering some snowflakes. These are resin snowflakes. They were plain white, and I just did my own little glitter mix. There are also some really tiny gold seed beads that are in there as well. And I just put that in with the glitter mix and just covered all of them. You can hardly even see it in this, but I think it still adds a little something. And then all these flat back pearls right here are from Michael's. They're part of that really pretty pink and white flat back pearl set. So I just went around the entire, you know, piece and put those in. And I love the way that turned out. And then I took my jewelry hole punch and punched holes on the bottom here so that I could have these little teardrop dangles. These are chandelier dangles. And what I did is I dipped them in pink first, pink alcohol ink. The color was way too fuchsia looking, so I didn't like it. It was the only color pink I had, so I had to go back to the drawing board. With the pink still on it, I dunked it into a bath of gold alcohol ink. And then after it dried, I took the stickles. I don't remember what color this is. And anyway, I used stickles and just did the tips right here. So it looks like it's kind of like a little icicle almost. And I attached it to the hole I made with these gold jump rings. And I thought about covering it up with a trim down here, but I really wanted this to be open. I didn't want a lot of fabric hiding this, because I really want you to be able to see my tree and not look at the top of my tree and just see this fluff of fabric. So I decided just to leave it as is. I just like the raw look of this piece right here, and I didn't really want to cover it up. So then I also took some more of the his and hers. I don't know if you can see it right here. These little crystal wire pieces too that are in a bundle, and I just threw a few of those in, wire wrapped it as well in here. Again, just these picks are hot glued to the back. And then there's the snowflake. That was a pick off of a Joann's piece that I got last year. And I put a piece from this year at Michael's. This came off a pick as well, Christmas pick. And I just put that as my little centerpiece there. I don't know if I mentioned, but I used that same stickles that I used on the little teardrop here. I ran that same color stickles on that white snowflake, just so that the color kind of went together there. But I love the way this turned out. So I'm going to be putting this on my tree, and I'll be sharing what my tree looks like. I don't know when I'm going to do that video or put that up, but I am going to share, because I have a lot of handmade stuff that I've done, mixed in with, you know, the other stuff that I've bought from Hobby Lobby, Michael's, Christmas decor stuff. So I'll do a tour on that sometime in the next, you know, few days. Alright, you guys, that is it. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask down below, and I'll try to get an answer to you as quick as I can. Alright, you guys, I'll see you later.